Welcome to Baddie, a monthly podcast by For the Breast of Us, the first breast cancer community for all women of color, where we share real-life experiences, information, and education to help you live your best life after a breast cancer diagnosis.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Miss Eboney, a.k.a. Miss Hustling Hills, also better known as your Hustling Baddie. And today I am bringing to you another episode of Love and Cancer, brought to you by none other than For the Breast of Us, a breast cancer community for women of color, helping love on you, support you, and most of all, educating you on your breast cancer journey, whether you're a survivor or a thriver. Now, I am excited once again for today's episode. We have a beautiful lady by the name of Donnisha. She and all her friends are going to come on and talk about how they supported their friend throughout her time. So I want you all to help me welcome Donnisha. Let's bring her on in.
Hey.
Hello, Donnisha. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am doing great. So we are going to jump right on into this, right? So I always talk about, and I always start off with breast cancer, right? It's a club that none of us want to be in. We didn't ask to be in. We definitely didn't want to be a part of it. But now that we're here, we kind of got to make the best of it, right? Yep. So how did you find out you had breast cancer?
So in 2017, I started to notice like my left nipple would scab, and I just thought it was just dry skin or whatever. So I ignored it for a while. So I want to say I noticed it maybe in September of 2018. I'm sorry, 2017. And so I ignored it for a while. And then I put a Band-Aid on it. I noticed it bled. I put my bra on one day, and when I took it off, the nipple came off with it. The scab came off with it. So it bled. And so I had Googled a couple of things. And so I went to the doctor, and they had told me that it was a fungal infection. And she prescribed me with some type of fungal cream, etc., whatever. But I knew that wasn't what it was. So I never filled the prescription, put a Band-Aid on it, and just out of sight, out of mind for like 30 more days. So after that, it had bled again. And that was when I went for a second opinion. So the next time I had went to my OBGYN, and I explained to her, and she was the only one that asked my medical history, family history of cancer and things of that sort. So I told her that, my dad's sisters, both of them are breast cancer survivors. One is now year 15, I believe, and the other one is maybe 30 years. They're still living. And my dad is a prostate cancer patient. So she referred me to get a mammogram. No one ever told me that. I thought you had to be like 40 to get those. So I went to get a mammogram, and I was like a size 42 double D. So mammograms they're really uncomfortable. So they did the imaging and things of that sort, and it was about 142 images, I believe. And so what they saw was calcification inside my milk duct. So it was one single cell that invaded my body, and that made me stage 1. And the breast cancer I was diagnosed with in 2000, I was diagnosed January of 2018 with ductal carcinoma, stage 1 breast cancer. So they didn't give me much option. They kind of like scared me. They was like, well, it's stage 1, and they were real frenzy about it. And so They didn't give me much chance to go get a second opinion from another doctor or anything. So February 1st, 2018, I was on the operating table having a double mastectomy at 29. I was going on 30 that upcoming May. So I had a double mastectomy. They removed both of my nipples. I had the tissue. I wanted to do the fat transfer, so they took. Eventually, they would take my stomach fat and reconstruct my breast out of my stomach fat. So that was the first time. So I did. I don't know exactly how many rounds of radiation. I'm sorry, not radiation, chemotherapy. But they had given me what's a pill called tamoxifen to take, and I was told I had to take it every day for 5 years or 10 years or something. 10 years because I wasn't at the menopausal stage. So I did that, and then 2019 kind of lived my best life, enjoying things, and then 2020 came, and I was in New York, February of 2020, and I would still do regular examinations and things of that sort, because even though I didn't have breast tissue, it was still my stomach fat, so I was nervous. So I was in New York, and I noticed I had like a small lump under my left arm, which is where it all started. And so when I got back home, I made an appointment to go back in, and comes to find out it was a recurrence. So I didn't understand, why at that time that it was a recurrence, because I had no breast tissue. So what was it feeding on? So again, nervous, scared, not knowing what's going on. I end up on the operating table again. This time they cut they said they cut it all out. And I ended up having 19 straight rounds of radiation under my arm. And so that was real hard. That was tough. The process during it wasn't bad, but the healing part, my skin was literally just burned. It was melting off from under my arm. It was horrible. So after that, they said, "Oh, we'll try this pill and we'll do this and we'll try this." So, I was just happy to be alive. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go with the flow. So then, I 2021, I got married. That was a good year, but then here comes 2022. So 2022, my right shoulder was bothering me really, really bad. And I let it go on for a couple of days, but then one Sunday morning, it was just too bad. And so I told my husband, I'm like, I'm going to go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room, told them my history and things of that sort. This particular doctor said he wanted to do a scan. So he did a chest scan, and I was there for at least 2-3 hours, only for him to come back and tell me, I see lesions on your right shoulder, and I think you need to go to speak with your oncologist. So this was on a Sunday. So here I am every 2 years. Now I'm like, okay, what's really going on? Like, who's missing? Why am I, every 2 years, why am I doing this? Why is that? Nobody could answer.
Who's not doing their job?
Right. So I went to the doctor, and she told me she didn't sound like really too empathetic with me. She didn't. It was just like, okay, this is my job. This is what we're gonna try. I kept hearing try. And she was like, we're gonna try this new drug and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to try anything else at this point. I'm done trying. So I called my job, and they wanted to make me have another surgery. So they wanted to cut me again. All in all, I think I had like 6 surgeries. So I called my job and I talked to my supervisor, and I was just like, hey, I don't know how long I'm gonna be out, etc. And he told me, he said, well, reach out to Cancer Treatment Center of America and let me know what's the outcome. So I did that. I reached out for a second opinion to Cancer Treatment Center of America. Comes to find out that the lesion on my right shoulder has spread. So it has spread to my brain, my right shoulder, my right hip, my liver, and my lung, all on the right side. So I went to the doctor. I went to Dr. Citron, that's Cancer Treatment Center of America. He referred me to the radiation department, and they were located downtown Chicago. So I underwent 19 consecutive days of brain radiation, radiation on my shoulder, and radiation on my right hip. That was hard. 19 straight days. It was draining. I had to be there every single day. I had no energy. It was real hard. So after that, I went to Cancer Treatment Center of America in Zion, and that's when I started to see the doctor. And he started me on a treatment plan, and it worked. It worked for a while. And when he started me on that treatment plan, everything was fine. So then I had to have a PET scan done, and he found a small lesion. So he took me off of the 10 pills that I was taking. At that point I was taking 10 pills a day, and it was over 3,000 worth of 3,000 milligrams. I was sick. I went from 220 pounds down to 157 pounds within like 2 months. So, at that point, my hair falling out, the radiation burned me so bad, my skin falling off in the back of my head. It was just real scary. It was real scary. So he ended up taking me off of the pill because it was too much for me. And now I do a liquid infusion once every 3 weeks. And since then I've gained weight. I'm at 171 pounds now. And I was just told at my appointment on Tuesday that I'm now in remission.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna hold it in. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm a crybaby. And oh my gosh. Yes. I'm gonna celebrate when I get off here. Because we gotta continue. Now, you're going through this literally basically every 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And I've only been through chemo. I haven't had any radiation. Because when I found out, I was already at stage 4.
Wow.
So I have heard the stories of radiation. And so you're going through this process, like, who were some of the first couple of people that you told?
So my husband was the first person. So, I'm a crybaby and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm scared. And I was like, why me? He's like, why not you? I was like, okay. So he was the first person. Then I told, I don't know what order, but the 3 ladies that's on the camera, those are the 3 that I told, but I don't remember what order I told them. So, yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's bring them on in. Maybe they know the order, but let's hear what they got to say.
Okay.
All right, ladies.
Look at
hello. Girl, look, I got my daughter over here on the side just in case she got to grab me some tissue because if anything, I'll probably cry with y'all. Okay, but I'm the host, so I got to try to hold it together. So, okay. So I'll just ask like this. No matter who she told first, when she told you guys, what was like some of your first thoughts? Whoever wants to go first.
So what we gotta do? That's what I told her. What we gotta do? We did it.
Oh, so Sharita went to my appointments with me. She's one of my friends from grammar school. So she went to my first appointment with me and several others after that. Amy is my niece's mom, and she was pregnant with my niece at the time, so she did what she could. And my friend right here, she made sure I stayed mentally, there.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
say, when you first told me, she was telling me about the but she always joking around first and foremost. So to even see my friend go from the jovial, playful, full of life down to like a two, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
So she was,
Right.
no, friend, when I take off my bra, dust flying. I'm like, dust?
It was like
I said, girl, I said, and I'm the type of friend like, let me see. So
Right.
she
Let me
came
see,
over. She came over, and you know what? And to be honest, like I met her back when I was at the bank. She done saw we was pregnant together, so like I consider her more than just a friend. She like my
Right.
sister, my family at this time. So I'm like, let me see. Came to the house, and when I saw a nipple was dark as me, I'm like, girl. So I was like, well, don't jump to conclusions
Right.
first. Let's ride this out. Don't even put that in your mind what you think it is because you don't know.
Mhm.
And when you find out, I tell them all the time mindset is everything. So,
Yes.
what you think, that is what you become. What you put energy into, that is what is a reflection around you. So no
Mhm.
matter what the doctors say, no matter what you believe, what we done Google kill us off all the time. It's a
Exactly.
it's it's a war zone out there, but
Mhm.
it's also a war zone once you create that with the thoughts that you continuously think in your mind. And I
Mhm.
say every day you got you winning because you living.
Mhm.
You live.
Right.
So
Right.
that was my whole thing. But to actually see my friend like hurting, I was hurting, but I couldn't like let that show because at this point, when you receive, I can't even imagine receiving news like that and let alone be you. So I don't
Mhm.
want to show a sign of weakness. I want to give her the
Right.
strength that she needs because at that point, I know that I will be looking for some strength.
Right.
I'll be looking for the encouragement, get yourself together. So it was very hard to actually see the transition happen from her going from over 200 some friends. She always used to, I'm the fat friend, I'm the fat
I used to
friend.
have to shop at the back of the store.
And it used to be funny, but she made jokes about it. So we're laughing down to look at me. I'll say, okay, look at you. Now you're skinny. Now so where did it go? Okay, but I'm like, we're not gonna worry about that. We're not gonna worry about
Right.
that. What we're actually gonna focus on is life. And that's what you
Right.
that's it.
Right. Right. And what about you, Amy?
I'm really emotional. So I was just really, really emotional. And so for a while I really didn't know what to say because I was in shock because I've never known her to be sick or sad or anything like that. So it was rough for a little while, but I did the best I could to be her support and not show my sadness.
Sorry, y'all. Somebody keep calling. But go ahead. I'm listening. Go
So
ahead.
I just did my best to keep a strong face for her, but it was really shocking. I That was like one of the most shocking things I heard probably since I've been around her, because I feel like I've been there for a lot of things, you know, from with the kids and her childbirth and stuff like that. So I just I this was really shocking for me.
Right. So, like, and what like went through y'all head? Because like it's one thing. Okay, she got the first diagnosis. She was like all clear. Then to get a second, then all clear, and then like within like it's like literally every 2 years she was getting a different diagnosis. So how did you all approach that part?
Um, she was being really strong on the second diagnosis. So she really wasn't like, I know that it was affecting her, but she really wasn't showing how it was affecting her. She was still like doing everything she normally do, doing everything with the kids. So it was like I feel like we were able to be strong with her because she was being really strong. She was really toughing it out.
I can agree with that. By the second time, no lie for me, it's like, man, come on now.
Right,
Because
right,
at
right.
this point, like, what are they missing? It's no longer I it until this day, it's still beyond me, honestly, because again, her same questions were, how is it breast cancer? I said, you don't even have any breasts. Like, what do you mean? And then the whole lymph node, I'm like, oh my, it was just a lot. But for her to, express her frustration, I was like, okay, so you just have to rechannel that frustration and make it work for you. Rechannel that energy and make it work for you. Yes, you've been down this road, so it's nothing new. So now you know that you're just gonna have to fight harder. And at that
Right.
point, it's still your mindset. It's still your mindset. You already said in your mind that you're going to live, you're going to get through this. So this is like the toughening out part. What you're supposed to pay attention to is the outcome. So that was my whole thing. I wasn't even letting, I wouldn't even allow her to say, don't say I got cancer. No, you do not. No, because
Right.
when you start saying that, then your body's going to produce that illness, that sickness. I am well. I am whole. I am healed. So that was another thing. Like, watch what you say, watch what you believe, and start changing your surroundings, your circles, and who you're talking to. Don't accept a pity party. This is not a charity case. We don't want that. You don't need that. Not right now. So that was my whole thing. Like, making sure, hey, when you get through crying in the midnight hour, you got work to do. It's work to do within yourself and around you. I mean, I can't, there's no other way. And once
Right.
you stop fighting, everything that you don't want, you're going to get it. So you have to keep fighting for what you want. You have to.
Right. And Sharita, you've been her friend the longest. So how did you feel?
The second time around, I'm not really like to talk about feelings and emotions much. I'm more so just be there when we're there in the moment. Make this moment a good moment. At least we'll have a good time. At least I know that I can hopefully lift your spirits up and we can hold each other up through, this situation, whatever we're going through. So I just tried to play my part, but just to make her feel good when I could.
Right. So like we're talking, part of this is like talking about how your friends were really there. And what ways were you guys supporting her?
In October, what do we do?
The breast cancer walk. Yeah, we walked.
Yeah, we went to the walk. Definitely.
Nice, nice, nice. And so like when she was going through her treatments and stuff, how did you guys approach that?
So with the treatment, I did the baby girl hair.
Yeah.
Um, Whenever I can,
call.
just calling, texting, popping up, playing on a Ring camera. Um, I know she loves Lily, so I bring flowers. I'm a nature person, so I really love like the growth of things. I love to see freshness and the newness of things. So the whole flowers will go out if she wanted to eat. But just mainly being there in person and always giving those words, encouraging words, or just finding anything other than the illness at that time to talk about. So,
Right.
yeah.
And so how much did you all know about cancer prior to her diagnosis?
This is the first time it was someone close to me. So she's the first person that was, touchable in my view that I had to support. So it's all new for me.
Me as well. She was my first experience with a family member having cancer.
She's definitely my first and only friend to be diagnosed with cancer. When she told me about herself, my uncle was diagnosed like a year later. He was already at stage 4 with prostate cancer. He's still fighting it out. So I'm being pulled by my cousin. My cousin is 2 years older than me. It's her dad. And then we're literally holding each other like your friend and it's my daddy. And it's like, you know what, we're going to be here for both of them and be here for each other as well. Because again, to actually watch someone fight for their life and keep their mental state of mind in the most positive way. It is, I tell Donnisha every chance I get, like, you are so strong because not only are you a woman, but you're a wife, you're a mother, sister, you're a co-worker. And to be able to have that face and even to come outside with the no hair and the no eyebrows, even when her toes was black. I remember I came over one time and she didn't have on the wig and her radiation had made her dark as me. I've never seen nothing like that. So of course,
melanin in me.
girl, stop. So you joking, like she always joking. And then I look, I'm like, man, if you don't oil your scalp and stop playing, like
that is so funny because I remember when I lost all my hair the first time because I've lost my hair several times. My friend said, "Friend, put a rice water treatment on it." I said, "Now, girl, what is it gonna hold to?" The back of my head.
So look, Melanie took when I was diagnosed. What was it? It was the first time. That's when she cut all her hair off. She went and she chopped it off, and so she's.
But she went and bought a wig though. She didn't even rock it out with me.
Look, my head.
Yeah, when she shaved her hair, she came to my house with that wig. It was purple or blue or something like that.
Oh no, I can't do this. Not even with earrings. I can't do this.
She looked like a little baby bald head. I went with her when she got it cut off. I was like, "Go ahead, bitch."
When I looked in that mirror, I said,
"Sent me off,
take
y'all.
me to the beauty supply right now."
Okay, friend, I'm gonna go to my barber. You go to yours. Okay, back. Call me back. Okay, cool. Called her back. I'm like, here I go. She was like, I bought a wig.
What? Bought her first synthetic wig.
No, she will send you off too, y'all. But I ended up liking my short haircut because it is a representation of my friend, me in support and love of my friend through her struggle.
Look, my husband and my kids, they are not. They do me wrong. So when I walk around without my wig, my husband. So I'll have my hair on and I'll be cute, and then I'll come home. I'll do just like this and take my wig off. He like, girl. He like,
so
man.
But yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you, honey. I can't. This got thrown on right before this broadcast. As soon as I it's going clear across the room. Oh, it's going clear across the room.
Yeah.
So it's something you said, Melanie, that really stuck out to me because I think what a lot of people tend to gloss over is because they figure, okay, cancer, especially when you've never really walked through the journey with somebody or really experienced it with someone, they take it as, oh, it's just physical. You know what I mean? And they don't realize the mental warfare that really goes on, not only within the person, but the support team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It takes a big toll on you, really big toll. And not just on you, but your family too. So like my husband,
exactly.
Well, you have to surround yourself with good people. Like Melanie said, and my husband said all the time. He like, you know, you need to surround yourself. Because when I got diagnosed the third time, my mom, she scared the hell out of me pretty much. She works in the medical field or whatnot. And so when she found out what it was, she was like, it was like she was preparing me for death. It was the scariest stuff I have ever, and it was just, my husband was like, it's not your time. You good, you good. And my mom was like, well, you need to figure out what you're going to do with the girls, and you need to do this. And they said it's terminal and this is it. You need to call your insurance company, write your will. And I'm just like, I was fine today. I was fine. And here I am, a year and some change since brain radiation. And I'm just like, my mama really, if I didn't have my husband and my friends, and I literally allowed my mom's lack of knowledge, just lack of the cancer period, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah.
I honestly
because people don't realize what their words can say. Words have power.
Yeah.
And if you're already going through something mentally, you don't need to hear something negative. So, like, on that, like, where did you, as the support team, where did you all get your support and strength from? Because as you're being and you're surrounding her, where did you get your support from? Because, we going through our own thing. But as a support team, like you said, like I was sitting there and I saw my friend pretty much go from one thing all the way down to pretty much diminished. So to see that, I'm sure it took a toll. So where did you all get your support and draw your strength from?
It's so cliche because I would say I got it from Donnisha. To actually see her, y'all, this is what it is, this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm putting it in God's hands, my hands, I got this. That made me want to pour in more strength, the strength that I have to her, like be her anchor at this point. Because she already got it. Like, honestly, she didn't kill herself off. Oh my God, woe is me. Honestly, and I know those midnight hours come. I get it. We're all humans. But when I say she woke up and when I would talk to her, yes, she had her moments. But by the end of our conversation, she put that S on her chest and she went on with it. And that made me want to make sure that I was on my stuff. Like, even when I saw her physically change, I didn't see the Donnisha that was going through radiation or going through. I remember the chunky Donnisha that I worked with 10 years plus at the bank. So in my head, that's what I envisioned. That's the person that I saw. I didn't see a bald head Donnisha. You see what I'm saying? In my mind, like, we're creators of things, right? And we have the power to actually see things that ain't really there. And that's what I use. So whatever she gave to me, I shot it back to her. You see what I'm saying? So, and not the wars me, because that barely came. I can say that. But I knew for a fact that this will pass. I just felt it. I just knew that it was passing. It would pass. And I don't put nobody in the earth. When she told me about her mom, that pissed me off. But that's when I started to tell her, I say, honestly, you have a lot of people around you. Use the energy and the strength of the people that you can. For now, get you where you need to go and get rid of whoever who ain't giving it to you. You have to.
Ma'am.
I don't care who it is. I kept that in her ear. Like, I don't care who it is. Like, you got to get rid of them now. Because they're part of your illness at this point.
That's great advice. That's like, really, that is great advice. Because a lot of people, they be like, oh, well, that's my mom, or that's my dad, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my best friend for I don't know how many years. But guess what? If they're not speaking life and they're not speaking positivity, you need to, like, excommunicate. Like, I love my mom to pieces, but when she hit me with the please don't die before I get there, Miss Girl, I said I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
And when she calls with something, being negative, I know how not to answer the phone. I know how not to pick up the phone. And if I need to take a mental day, that's what I take. I don't care who get mad because I don't answer the phone and don't want to talk. So that is really, really great advice that you gave her. Sharita, Amy, like, where did you all gather your strength and support from as she was going through?
Well, this third diagnosis for me was I think the hardest for my own self. But for the first two, I was very confident. But when she told me this third time, it like broke me probably more than it broke her. Honestly, I was like, I kind of like, I don't want to say stayed away, but I didn't want to keep asking how you doing, how you doing, how you feeling. I had to find other things to talk to my friend about. So the strength that every time I talked to her, she was good though. She was like, "Oh, I'm good. It's okay." So I'm like, "Okay, well, if she okay, I'm okay." And that's just how I had to process that one. She said she okay, I'm okay. We gonna be okay. And we did. We rocked out like that.
Hold on. Wait a minute. And she put us in a group chat because she had to wear a helmet. They was talking about how big her helmet was. So when you have humor like that, you really don't have time to be sad. You really don't.
That brain radiation they had, it was this. They had like a netted screen around my face, and it was like I felt like one of those dogs where you can only see first, and you.
Oh gosh, no!
And I'm laying on this machine, and I'm like, so when they took it off, I'm like, dang, that's my head. It was bad. That thing was horrible. I actually saved it, but I ain't showing it to you,
baby.
Yeah. And what about you, Amy?
Initially when I heard it was third party information, so I got the news that it was like terminal. So I just cried and I cried and I cried. And then when I finally talked to her, she was okay. And she was calling, FaceTime me, like, let me talk to the baby. And I'm like, don't you got something you want to say?
Right.
Don't you want to tell me? Don't you got something you got to tell me? And so I'm just like, are you okay? And she was like, she did her hair like this. She was like, I'm okay. I'm gonna be okay. And I knew that she was gonna be okay. And in the coming weeks, we still did the same stuff. She was still going to football games, cheerleading practices, and she didn't waver. She was just doing everything that she normally did. So I got my strength from that because you're going through it. I'm not actually going through it. And if you to go through it, then I got the strength to, support you.
That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. So, because I'm gonna wrap it up.
I'm gonna grab my husband real quick. I'm gonna grab him because he think he's slick.
He said, "I ain't trying to be on it right now. It's a job." Like, but okay. So now, like, other than the walks, because I know you said in October you guys do the walks. What are some things that you all have planned to continue to support her on her journey?
We got lots of plans. Take more trips, go out to more dinners, share more laughs, and just appreciate the time that we have and spend more time just doing good stuff.
Yes, we do definitely take more trips. We take more trips and do stuff that we've never done. Try things that we've never done. Go places that we've never been. And I think she done created a whole nother friend group with other friends. So she got friend of friends that's friends. So it's like, and it's like a one big family. It's everything. It's everything.
So yeah, he doesn't want to relive it. He don't want to revisit it. So he don't want to get
fine.
Yeah,
it's understandable. Okay, guys, if you had to describe your friendship in one word, what would it be?
Sistership.
I like that.
I love that. I like that. I like that a lot.
So you're born into a family, but you also get to choose your family too. So I have a lot of family members that we're just related, blood related. But to say that we have a relationship, I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
So I think through our experiences, she has literally become like a little sister to me. A little sister to me. So it's like a sistership.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
And these
beautiful.
my cousins.
And what about you guys?
This is not. See, she think that we friends, but we really sisters. She, she. See, when I came around, she didn't have no sisters, so I'm her sister.
That's
She introduced, she
beautiful.
introduced me as her niece's mom, but I'm really her sister.
Period.
I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She always called Amy the little sister she never wanted.
Irritating.
Oh, that's so cute. And what
As for
about
me,
you,
I have
Brenda?
5 sisters, so I just throw her in a bunch. Yep.
Yep, that's exactly what she did. So now
Yep.
we all like
Jump
this.
in. We don't even know it's another person. Just count them out.
Yep.
I love that. I love that sisterhood and that bond because you don't really see a positive look, especially in our community. You don't get to really see that. You see what they want to show on social media,
Mm-hmm.
but then outside of that, they talking behind each other's back stabbing. They doing the whole nine. So
Mm-hmm.
this right here, that's one of the things that I told our founder, one of our founders, Marissa. I said one of the greatest things that I've saw and experienced with these interviews have been the not only the love and support, but it just shows what's really missing in our society. And because we don't, when you go on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you don't really get to see all of this. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You do see the trips. You know what I'm saying? You might see the color parties and all that kind of stuff. But what happens when your sister
I'm gonna go
is
on.
going through a hardship? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Are you going to turn your back on her? Are you going to talk about it? Or are you going to step up and be like, you're not going through this by yourself? We get ready to go through this and we get ready to battle this out together.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that it's not even think like I'm big when it comes to social media, and that's not what you see. And
Mm-hmm.
then you see that trip that happened with the homegirls, but then you see a post later on down the line. I feel so lonely. Where is everybody at? Because everybody want to be around when the going's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's time to
Up you
fight,
come.
when it's time to stand up, everybody gone.
Yep.
So this is beautiful to see. So the name of the series is Love and Cancer. So I want you guys to finish this sentence. Love is.
Love is surviving cancer with your girls.
So that need to be on a t-shirt. That need to be on a t-shirt.
Just copywriting.
Yeah, I
Period.
got you. I got you. What about you guys?
I would say love is creating the life you want to live.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Y'all,
Yeah.
y'all went crazy.
I know. I wish we would have had these questions. I was gonna get a good one.
Love is like I feel like it's support and family and all that comes with that. Self love,
Yes.
everything.
Yep.
And Donnisha, you want to finish it off?
Whew. What they say? They said this at a wedding. They said,
Girl,
love is patient.
that's a song. That's a scripture though.
It is a scripture. It's literally Corinthians.
Yeah,
I know
okay.
what I'm talking about.
Went to church 2 times. Now she a pastor. Get out of here.
It's in my bathroom. No, but look, seriously though, I love y'all. Seriously, I chose y'all because y'all. I feel like I'm closer to y'all, and we grew literally from. She started off as my brother girlfriend, and I was just like, oh, this is my little brother, whatever. But then, over the years, like she grew a bond with my kids. She grew a bond, like she watched my youngest from in my stomach to now. She gave me my first niece. So the bond we have is different. I like my brother could get another girlfriend, wife, or whatever, but it's my Amy. Sharita, you already know. Melanie,
girl.
This is my woman king. Melanie know I love her so much. Like, this is my Black Panther. She keep me going. She give me all type of, when I'm going through it, she put me right in place. She holds no filter. She don't hold her tongue. She give it to me. And I'm like, I hang up the phone like, don't tell me what to do. But then I'm like, okay, she right. But yeah, but I chose y'all because y'all really do mean a lot to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we love to see that. If it slip off, girl, I just slip mine off. We
I know,
right? No.
Period.
But I want to thank you all for joining me today. It has really been a pleasure. I definitely needed this laugh because, honey, when I came on here, my tooth was killing me. It's still kind of hurting, but hey, it'll be fine. Honey, I didn't make it through cancer for 5 years now. I can make it through a toothache.
Nice.
So
thank you. Thank you, Ebony. I've been following the breast cancer page, you guys' page, for a while now. And I'm like, oh, I want to get on there. I want to tell my story. And it's like, I try to be as transparent as I can on Facebook. Like, I share my story on Facebook, and people are like, oh, you always look nice, you this and you that. And I'm like, yeah, I was always told never to look like what you're going through. So
yeah,
I really appreciate you taking time out your day, inviting me, responding to my message. Yeah, I really, really appreciate that. This means a lot to me.
No problem. And like, we be needing people to write blogs. So definitely stay in contact because people need to hear your story.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because you are an inspiration. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know too many people that could get diagnosed once, twice, and even a third time, and then they say it's completely spread and not give up. And you have not given up. And I know, especially having these wonderful ladies around you and your husband as a support, you're not going to give up. And I'm a firm believer that, the company that you keep makes a difference. And so you got a lot of life to live, and you need your story definitely needs to be heard. So I don't know if you do any ambassador work, but I'll talk to you when I finish because I got some connects for you. But all right, guys, that is another edition of Love and Cancer. It has been a pleasure. And like I said, I am your girl and your host, Miss Ebony, aka Miss Hustling Hills, your hustling baddie.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I am signing off saying have a beautiful and blessed day. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.